No, I hit the bullseye. So.
No, I just want to tell my viewers, this is Bob Slovak, and what's neat is how long have you been doing this?
I've been working here in Houston for 25 years.
Because I remember him as a young man, remember this guy and his voice, and how neat to meet you.
Well, great to meet you too, Lester.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, what a blessing.
Thank you for coming
You're
out.
doing great work out here. I'll have to come back and just see the whole menagerie, I guess.
You're always welcome. Yeah, Anna will be coming back here any day now, so come on back whenever you have time and visit.
I would. I'd love to see them.
Yes.
I want to see the emu. I want to see the pachyderm. I mean, those would be...
Well, you're always welcome back.
And I got to try to feed a baby goat. I will tell you this. I milked a goat at the rodeo.
Oh my God.
They had a contest. And that was an experience.
That is awesome.
No,
Well, we're just adding stuff.
No. So that's where I draw the line. I like my milk out of a store, out of a...
I like mine cold and pasteurized.
Yeah, all of those things. That's
Good
awesome.
to meet you guys.
On a positive note, we did get some rock brought into our driveway, and now the driveway has become passable again. You can use the driveway. You know, there for several days, we had to close the gates off because it was just too muddy. But we did have some rock brought in. We got most of that spread out this morning. And we did order a third load. I thought we'd have enough to go all the way down to the end of the driveway. We wanted to get this area here very heavy. We still have a lot of extra rock we can pull back into our driveway that kind of got pushed off to the side. So we'll take care of that. As you guys can see, not everyone is respecting our wishes. We had packages brought up yesterday. We did, and that guy had a hard time turning around. But, you know, you can only ask for people to respect your wishes, and some people are hard-headed. I will say this, do not expect to see an opening. You can't, guys. You cannot sit there and continue to send stuff when we asked you nicely not to, and expect us to do a big package reveal type thing. There are so many jobs more important right now. And I understand you're just being kind, but we don't have a time for it now. There's just not the time. I will show you. I mean, it's obvious. You can see here. There's a whole lot of work to be done in this pasture over here. This is Sister Kim's pasture. Look at that big ass snake. There's a huge snake swimming across right there, coming this way. It is a big one too. Boy, if I had my shotgun or my 22 with me, I don't know where it went now. Behind that, but it's going to come up between those two pine trees, I believe. But yeah, there's just a whole lot of work. And the size of chainsaw you need for this kind of a job is not one that we have. We have 16-inch chainsaws. That's going to require a very large chainsaw. So there is a tree company we've used before, Juan Ventura. I remember you guys may have met him back at the Longhorn Letters. Juan Ventura Tree Service. And then these are boards here that will have to be picked up because there's still nails in them. All of the wiring has been pushed off along this pasture fence here, so you can't bring animals over here to the pond pasture. There's no way. So anyway, I know you've seen all of this. I'm just trying to show you the rock. We're blessed to have the rock. And so I think that we'll get one more load where we'll continue to go all the way down to the end of the driveway. Now, Mr. Slovak said he's also wanting to video the newest additions to I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. That would be the bottle babies that Ellie and Megan have recently rescued. If you haven't heard that story, it's on Ellie and Megan's channels. But there was a lady who lives right across the way, right through there, who had put her goats up where she thought they'd be high and dry, but you couldn't keep the adults in. They kept jumping over her fencing off of her porch back out into the pasture. The babies were able to stay on the porch and survived, but unfortunately all of the adults did drown. And so she contacted us the day after the flood, realizing what had happened, knowing that those babies had to be bottle fed. And so Ellie and Megan took that on, which will be the first 3 bottle babies. the first 3 rescues here post whatever we're calling the storm, post the flood. So there they are over here on the porch now. And then I think that Mr. Bob is going to actually bottle feed them. Oh, Jamie's found some bug spray because mosquitoes are atrocious. Jamie's found some bug spray. And so we'll be getting these 3 bottle fed babies here on camera, which would be really cute.
It's had a rough ride.
It's
had a rough ride, but it's still
so
good.
she's found us some bug spray that's been through the flood. But I'll tell you what, these mosquitoes are rough. They're eating us up. Did you already spray some on you?
I got my feet.
Can you spray my back for me? So yeah, these babies over here are going to become popular today. And they're just adorable. Yeah, he's going to bottle feed them on camera.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Is somebody making bottles?
Because it's time to eat, and they are making their bottles right now. And then if you do my head right quick, baby. Just not my eyes. Okay, thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much.
Spray you
So,
anytime.
yeah, so everything's looking pretty good, and we're all ready. Now, this may be a problem because you do not want the entire city of Houston having to hear all of that mess. That is a disaster waiting to happen. So you can see that there's going to have to be a lot of dirt brought in. Every one of these posts are just kind of sitting here wobbling. All this stuff washes up into them, and it pretty much bores out. All the holes are bored out. The concrete's been broken out of place. All of Ellie's chicken wiring that he thought he would use to help keep predators out of the pasture has all just kind of washed around a little bit. So this is the kind of cleanup. People don't realize that even though you might be able to get to work and get back into your house, if you're lucky, in the next, in a few days or weeks after a flood, the cleanup will continue for weeks and months. There will be a ton of tires go flat from running over nails and screws and just trash in general. So I don't mind going around the pastures today doing what I can. Hey, you guys come with me. Y'all come with me. There's more over here. Let's continue on, friends. not going to sit here long because the mosquitoes are so bad, but I want you to look how high all of that debris is up into those trees. That's a good 15, 20 foot up there, friends. And so we also lost a tree here that has kind of fallen back into the pasture, which is surprising. You would have thought it would have moved with the water and gone the other direction, but maybe the tree was heavier on one side. But no, the fence is all down right there. So we need to make sure that there's no cows brought into this area whatsoever. I can't see what it is, but there's something white all the way through there on the back side of all that debris. Now, that's not our property. This is a fence line over here. And so we don't need to necessarily get over there and clean all that mess, but I'll tell you what we will do. First chance we get a good fire, a good cleansing fire, will do a lot of that for us. We'll just have to alert the fire department and make sure we have all of the weather conditions the right direction, wind and whatnot, so as we don't end up burning the entire thing down. But no, we're going to drive up the fence line over here. You can just see all the fences are they just need to all be taken down and redone. But I go back to that same question. What's the point? Because it's going to flood again. Friends, I want to give you a number, and I want you to think about this for a minute. In all of my lifetime of 50 years, it flooded one time. 1994 was the flood that covered this hill. But even in that flood, it barely came over the hill. That was what they were calling a historic flood. It didn't flood again until 2017 with Hurricane Harvey flooding, which they all said was a once-in-a-lifetime flood. Actually, a once-in-an-800-year flood. And then since Hurricane Harvey, we've had 4 additional floods that have covered this hill, and they've all been referred to as historic flooding. How is it possible that you have 5 once-in-a-lifetime floods in a matter of 6 or 7 years? Tell me how that's possible, and how does that make any sense to anybody? I'm about tired of living through once-in-a-lifetime moments.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.